Welcome to the Mr. Usman Sharif Consultancy, where you are sure to gain a thorough knowledge of your own. I am Sister Karriemah, a student consultant. If you will you please, in the position you are accustomed to, join us as we open in prayer, which will be said by Brother Jawanza.
Yes, ma'am. Prayer. Surely I've turned myself to thee, O Allah, trying to be upright, to him who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Surely my prayer and my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate has he in this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. There is no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thine servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against all my faults, for none grants protection against faults but thee. And guide me to the best of morals, for none guides to the best of morals but thee. And turn away from me the evil and indecent morals, for none can turn away from me the evil and indecent morals but thee. O Allah, bless Muhammad and bless the true followers of Muhammad, as thou didst bless Abraham and the true followers of Abraham, for surely thou art praiseworthy and magnified. And O Allah, make Muhammad successful, and make the true followers of Muhammad successful, as thou didst make Abraham and the true followers of Abraham successful, for surely thou art praiseworthy and magnified. Ameen.
Ameen. Here at the Mr. Usman Sharif Consultancy is where knowledge and the spreading of knowledge is. It is where new thought, new mind, a new civilization of our people is inspired. Here, you will receive a light of guidance where you will be lifted up as this world begins to close down, along with this educational system that is designed to make us perpetual slaves and to destroy us with them. Our objective is to re-educate and retrain not only our people, but the totality of the human family of our planet. All of us need to be re-educated and to be able to grow and develop and live out our purpose of being as we make all things new in an upright manner through freedom, justice, and equality. On the screen, you'll see our foundational books. Here at the Mr. Usman Sharif Consultancy, we use the supreme wisdom lessons of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which were originated by Master Farad Muhammad, as the framework of our curriculum. We create classes and training that as this world changes by degree, we do also. Not our formula, we elevate up by degree only. As we continue to evolve prenatal to physical death, we teach how to learn, how to create, how to learn more, and how to create again, forever continuing righteously forward, better and better each time. Continuing to learn, master, create, learn, master, create, forever moving forward, better and better each time. It is out of the supreme wisdom lessons that the Muhammad University of Islam Supreme Wisdom Curriculum Conceptual Framework comes. This curriculum guide and educational system design model is from the Supreme Wisdom Educational Center, founded by Sister Deborah Lynn Muhammad, which you will continue to learn more about as we go forward in this program, this presentation. Next, we will continue with Brother Jawanza.
Yes, ma'am. Here's what you'll find in this presentation. a slide structure based on the Supreme Wisdom curriculum and how it can easily adapt to your needs. For more information, please visit MrOsmanSharifConsultancy.com. An assortment of pictures and illustrations that are suitable for use in your school district, and a resources guide where you'll find links to all the reading material you can use. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stated in study guide number 21, page 6, quote, "Happiness comes when a person understands their purpose for existence, and then they fulfill that purpose. And when one fulfills his or her purpose in life, the soul is satisfied. That soul has unspeakable joy." So now we're going to get into the learning experiences. Our objective of each course is to develop a core knowledge of self. 2, to build on that core knowledge in different educational fields. 3, students are to see themselves in the learning environment. And 4, to introduce students to agriculture. So let's break these points down, give a little bit more. Let's say for number 1, core knowledge of self. We understand that a core knowledge of self leads to a knowledge of God and other than self. Number 2, we're talking about different educational fields, such as ELA, English language arts, reading, spelling, vocabulary, writing, and mathematics. 3, when we say see themselves, we're talking about having more teachers of color to represent the student body. And 4, when we discuss agriculture, we want the students to learn the process of growing the food from farm to table, using how to eat to live. The classes are held in the classroom and online and through field trips throughout the community, as well as some long distance trips to provide hands-on learning. Overall, we use project-based learning in all of these environments that you see on the screen. Next, I'm going to pass it on to Sister Georgina. Sister Georgina.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. I'm Sister Georgina with the Mr. Osman Sharif Consultancy, and I'd like to start my portion of the presentation with a clip of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan speaking at the Educational Challenge.
The prophet of 1400 years ago, who is guiding and directing the studies at the University of Islam? Or is it Muhammad, the praised one, God in person, who is establishing the Muhammad University of Islam? There's a different type of institution. And no matter what we as educators have learned, this is a different type of institution which demands that those of us who will teach in the Muhammad University of Islam be well versed in the knowledge of the Muhammad, who whose University of Islam we are a part of. Master Farad Muhammad and his prime student, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, didn't want to set up a university like we know universities. So we should study what is a university. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you can have a university under a tree as long as you are teaching subjects pertaining to the universe.
Yes, all praises are due to Allah. I want to start off by asking, what is a curriculum, right? Because the Supreme Wisdom curriculum does contain those things that are found in the universe. A curriculum is defined as all the experiences provided by the institution which are designed to foster student learning. With a customized curriculum, it hones in on your child's academic strengths while addressing their academic weaknesses. The Supreme Wisdom curriculum, this teaching, is designed by the Savior to bring about a transformation. Look at what this curriculum has produced. World leaders like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Wharf Beam Muhammad, Muhammad Ali, and Louis Farrakhan, and others. We are here to present to you a curriculum where many lesson plans and unit plans, activities, projects can be derived that keep learning fun and engaging. You should accept what we are offering because Common Core has failed. In the article by Tom Lovelace, 3/18/21, he writes, "The United States cannot regulate its way to educational excellence. It's time to invest resources in improving the basic science of education, including the discovery of new, effective instructional strategies and curricula that boost learning. Scientific discovery, not standards-based regulation, should be the dominant theme of the next era of education reform." I'd like to start off by introducing you to the historic Torchlight for America by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, written in 1993. I would like to start off by sharing on page 49. The heading is Teach the True Knowledge of Self and Others. And he writes, "Every human being requires a knowledge of self as part of the proper cultivation of the divinity that is in them. Additionally, and if we hope to live together in peace with others in the society, we must know something of the cultures that make up this so-called melting pot. A new public school system should relate the curriculum to self. When we see the curriculum as an outgrowth of self, then we can identify with the curriculum, giving us an incentive to learn. In the Muhammad University of Islam school system, our students' learning is facilitated because they identify with the subjects. So we don't teach the subjects outside of the students. We tell them to say, I am mathematics. I am science. I am biology. Okay? So they're learning about themselves, thus making learning more exciting. The minister continues. When we relate the forces within self to the forces that lie outside of self, this connects us to subjects we are studying in a manner that we can ultimately master those subjects. Our bodies are controlled by the mind. So mastering economics should not be difficult with this thought in mind. This body takes in and separates what is useful, puts it to productive use, and eliminates what is wasteful. Therefore, this body is economics. And since I am the master of this body, I can master economics. It's imperative to teach people about themselves, their history, their bodies, and their nature, so that they can become self-masters. Mastery of self is the key to mastery of all disciplines, because in some way, every discipline is present within ourselves. Once we have a mastery of self-knowledge, it's important to be taught the true history of other people who make up this country. This promotes mutual respect for the members of the human family, lending to a peaceful and productive society. This is why Black history should be studied, not only by Black people, but by white people. As we have developed a respect for white people by knowing their history and great accomplishments, whites will develop a respect for Black, Native American, and Hispanic people, and all the people of the earth. When they know the histories and contributions of others to the onward march of civilization in a pluralistic society, such as they claim this is. It is absolutely a vital necessity that the people who make up America should be a part of the study of those who call themselves Americans. And in that way, we grow to respect one another. Even if we never grow to love one another, mutual respect is all that is really required to make the nation truly great. And with that, I would like to get started with our first observation of the day, which is still from this book, Torchlight for America. And the minister continues in chapter 6. He says, duty to God should always come first in everything we do. The more we neglect duty to God, the more the whole of society falls into disrepair. No matter what policies are formulated in Washington, D.C., or what programs are implemented in the schools. If God is not kept first and foremost in our endeavors, we will not be successful. The society will continue in its decline toward death, and we will remain in need of a deep and widespread healing. So we start with acknowledging God first. That's an important part of this curriculum. Okay. After we do that, the first thing that we are going to do is violin instruction or listening to classical music. Listening to classical music does some amazing things, such as A, it supercharges the brain, B, it sparks creativity, C, it boosts memory, D, it reduces stress, and a recent study published in the Psychology of Music shows a link between listening to classical or instrumental music and improved mental health. The study found that the people who listen to this type of music experience lower anxiety, depression, and stress levels. So we start the day getting the student's mind, body, environment, and vibration ready to receive the Supreme Wisdom curriculum. Okay. So the design of the learning activities is with the end in mind. At this time, after classical music, we go into math. And this is an example of how your day could be using this curriculum. Of course, it can be shifted around to meet your special needs, but this is what we're offering for you tonight. So I would like to share this math presentation of a teacher working with students, third grade math students.
We're going to do a counting collection today, and each one of you are going to get a group of objects, and so you'll be counting those. So we're going to read the objectives together. Okay, ready? Begin. We will estimate the number of objects in a collection. We will make decisions with our heart about how to count the number of objects in a collection. Nice job. Counting collections helps students to learn different ways to count rather than just counting by ones, counting in ways that are more efficient.
And I just want to point out that
20s. So I want to first show
this
you
is
some ways
something
that
that's
you might
common
count
in the
your
Supreme
objects.
Wisdom curriculum is the cross subjects in one subject. So they are reading in mathematics, not only doing calculations. So that's something that you will find very common, is more than one subject being acknowledged in that subject. Okay.
10. And then I'm going to put that one to the side because it's done.
And I love how she has
And
the
then after I
different
have all of
manipulatives
my
available
cups,
for the
that's
children.
when my partner and I will count them. What are some ways to record this? Like if I just group all of these in groups of 10, what are some ways I could record it? Can you quickly come show us up here? How would we record if I group all of those puzzle pieces?
Wait, so you counted by tens? Yeah.
I count it by tens, yeah.
You don't just do dots, or maybe you could just put
What's also very common in this
So Aurelie
curriculum
said you
is
could
that we
either do
always
10
encourage
dots
the
in a
educator
circle,
to
or you could
model the behavior that they want the students to have. So she used a student to model the behavior that she wants the students to have, and that's okay as well.
Okay, you guys can get your collection.
So do you want to do it 2050?
Look at how excited they are and engaged in this activity.
Try to fit 50 in one.
This is the kind of excitement that you want the children to have as they are learning something.
We have our own colors and we count, and then we try to add 50 in each cup.
And then we're going to count by 50s until we get our answer.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, I got this one down on the key. Come on, see.
Have you guys made a decision on how to group them? How are you grouping them? Wow, 50s.
The other important aspect of this curriculum, as you see what the teacher is doing, she's going around asking the students questions. That's the best way to evaluate the students' learning, is by asking them questions and seeing what they give back to you. That is actually how we received our lessons from Master Fard Muhammad. He asked the Honorable Elijah Muhammad questions, and he repeated or shared the answer to the questions with him.
Because all we have to do is be at 50, 100, 150, 200, 600, 300, and it'll be more of an efficient way.
More efficient way. So if you're counting by 50s, how are you guys grouping yours?
And you see that no one set of
You have to be
students
able
is
to work well
doing
with
the
your
exact
partner.
same thing.
Be successful
That's
at counting
beautiful.
collections.
We don't all have to do the exact same thing, right?
On the way
To arrive at the answer.
I saw two of my girls. They had cards and they had purple cards. And so they shared the responsibility. One girl would count the purple cards and another student would count the green cards. Is that a group of 10? And then what do you have?
2 leftovers.
So what should we do with these two?
She has 8, and this is 2, so 8 plus 2 is 10.
Wow. So what could we do with this 8 plus 2 is 10? What could we?
We can put them together.
Okay, where is the 8?
Yeah.
Is that your group of 8? What should we do with these? Sarah?
We should do that when we should count the tens, and then we should make these 2 last. Wherever number we land on, we're gonna count by ones.
Okay, so you're different strategies, but both of them are correct. So I'm gonna let you guys decide which one you're gonna do. All right, awesome. So I would say just keep these out of the way so you'll know.
Look at how
And
they're
then go ahead and count your
regrouping
cards.
with the extra cards that they have.
30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80.
Students are understanding how not only to count, but they're also learning how to record and how to add their collection.
Okay, so what was just demonstrated to you is something that's heavily promoted in the Supreme Wisdom curriculum, which is project-based learning. Project-based learning is a teaching method in which students learn by actively engaging in real-world and personally meaningful projects. It's carefully designed problems that challenge students to use problem-solving techniques, self-directed learning strategies, learn participation skills, and disciplinary knowledge. So as you can see, some of the curriculum page is right next to the video, and that's something that an activity or several activities can be used with projects, with number expansion, with place value. As we see in the next example, that these are example of pages for more projects. You have definitions. You are going to be doing art and drawing with this. So again, this is some of what we have to offer in the Supreme Wisdom Education curriculum. As you heard, the minister in the educational challenge said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you can have a university under a tree as long as you are teaching about the universe. So our next subject after math is science. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the whole scope of the teachings of Master Fard Muhammad is astronomy. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan again said in the Education Challenge is, if the whole scope of his message is astronomy, which is the study or the science that deals with the study of celestial objects, stars, planets, comets, nebulae, clusters, and galaxies, as well as phenomena that originate outside of the atmosphere of Earth. Yes, I see your smile. What? They're going to be learning all that? That is just the tip of the iceberg of what we have available at the Supreme Wisdom curriculum. Okay. Do you know that the moon was part of the Earth? See, look at your smiling. Look at the light bulb that's coming on your face. What? You didn't know that? We know that here in the Supreme Wisdom Education Center, which we will be giving to you tonight as the curriculum. The other question is, imagine how your young students will learn, how their eyes will come up. Similar as you saw the children in the project-based learning math class, that's the same thing that what happens in the science class. Okay, do you know how fast the Earth and other planets travel? I see many of you shaking your head no. The Earth travels at the rate of 1,037 1/3 miles per hour. Did you know Pluto was discovered the same year Master Fard Muhammad made himself known? So if you're excited and happy and curious, don't you think the students will feel the same way? The next subject that we have is English language arts. And we are a nation of readers. We love reading, okay? The reading class shall include all of the history. Report the reading class along with the regular school report. We encourage reading 22 parts of the Supreme Wisdom daily. They also read books that allow them to see themselves in what they are reading, things that they want to be, things that they may be interested about, or things that they would like to find out about. The next part of English language arts is spelling. Phonics instruction is required to help children learn spelling. Orthography is a set of conventions for writing a language, including norms of spelling, hyphenation, capitalization, word breaks, emphasis, and punctuation. And next is vocabulary. Vocabulary is so important to the Supreme Wisdom curriculum. Learning the meaning of words is by far the most important part of the Supreme Wisdom lessons. There is no such thing as a misunderstood concept. There is power in understanding the meaning of a word. And I like to share this quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He says, being a student of Latin, you become knowledgeable of suffixes and prefixes, and you become knowledgeable of the root of a word, how the word evolved, What is the origin of that word in terms of its origin? Where did it come from? You learn that most English words evolved from either Latin or Greek. The Romance languages are French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, and they come out of Latin. So learning all of the part of ELA is important. Next, we go into writing. Mr. Osman Sharif Consultancy has children's handwriting books. We have worksheets, the resources of worksheets, videos. We have manipulatives, many things that come along with the curriculum. So this is part of student enrollment. Number one, who is the original man? The original man is the Asiatic Black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Okay, we have print, large print, small print, depending on what the student's needs are is what we can accommodate, as well as cursive. Next, we'd like to share that the Supreme Wisdom curriculum has lessons designed on how to eat to live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. These are the only two books that I know of on the planet Earth that says from God in person, Master Fard Muhammad. We encourage the drinking of whole milk, whole wheat bread, and navy bean soup as the base of the food. We encourage you to serve to go along with the curriculum to get the best out of the children. We discourage the eating of food products, items that comes in bags and boxes, and want the children to intake the highest quality of food for better behavior function and nutritional response. How is this program evaluated? Well, of course, it's evaluated by the initial reactions of the learner. Knowledge gained from the instruction, behavior changes, and last but not least, quizzes and tests. We'd like to share with you a video of a student who planted an agricultural seed, cauliflower seed, watched it grow, nurtured it, weeded it, fed it, etc. And now she's sharing with you how to harvest it. Thank you.
The cauliflower. Sleeve the knife. Try to get a little safety here. Take it in. Cauliflower. Like that. Got it. Pick it up, let me see it. Be careful with the knife. Let's put it back into the holster with the knife. Sleeve the knife. Showing me a big cauliflower. Peel back some of the green part. Yeah, there you go. Now we're gonna cut this other one too. Put it in the bag, we'll put the other one. I'll set the knife for you. Take a little step. Set it down a little bit below the flour. Look at that. Sit them heads. Rock around. Well, we're gonna try to touch some of these on here. You see?
Brother Jawanza, I think you can end it. Thank you for watching our presentation. I hope we have encouraged you to heavily consider purchasing the Supreme Wisdom curriculum. One last video from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
What we are. Students who graduated from the University of Islam from the time of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to this day are making a contribution in many fields. Yes, sir. We must get back to business. Yes, sir. We must make our school grow again. We must put new levels.
Thank you.